بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear sons and daughters of grade 3. I'm very happy to be with you again, and today we are discussing Unit 6, which is titled Inventors. As we used to start, we'll start by the new words and vocabulary which are mentioned in this unit. New words are divided into 3 sets of words. The first set speaks about nouns, second speak about verbs, and the third classification is adjectives. Let's go and read. Inventor, sail, oil, gas, lawnmower, vacuum cleaner, voice, competition, steamship, environment, or, flood, rope, robot, planet, volcano, century, research, calendar, entertain, feel, recognize, remind, design, include, starve, sail. Sail, which is mentioned as a noun, it's mentioned now as a verb. Scientific, personal, nervous. What is the meaning of this vocabulary? Inventor is someone who may be a scientist and may be an ordinary person who is able to invent a new device or machine that you can use in your life. Sail is a piece of cloth which is used and fixed in a boat to direct it and help it to go faster when it's windy. Oil. This material comes from underneath, from under the earth, and is used as fuel. Gas. This is an invisible material which flies in the air, like oxygen, hydrogen, and so on. Lawnmower. It's a machine, like a robot used to cut the grass in your garden. Vacuum cleaner. It's a machine that's used at home to clean the floor. Voice. Voice is what you hear while someone speaks. But there is a difference between voice and sound. A sound is what you hear from a machine or anything that make a sound. You hear it, but not human. When it's human sound, it's a voice. But if a human sound comes from a radio or so, we call it sound also. Let's move to competition. A competition is a kind of race to examine your information or your ability to win someone else. Steamship is a kind of ship that is powered by using steam. And steam comes when you boil water or liquids. Environment. Environment is everything about us, nature about us. Or. The word or means a piece of wood or sometimes light metals used to move boats when it's not windy. Flood, when the Nile or any river has a lot of water, more than we need, and it floods the earth. Rope, we use this to pull something or tie something or someone. Robot, some kind of machine which can be programmed to move and do things alone. Planet, in the space there are a lot of planets, and the Earth is the planet which we live on. Volcano, when it's very hot under the Earth, so hot liquids try to come out of the Earth using the weakest point in the Earth to erupt through it. It's called volcano. Century is a period of 100 years. Research, when I ask someone to do a research, I ask him to find information about something. Calendar, I use this to know today's date or any date I want. Let's move to verbs. Entertain, which means make someone happy or enjoy his time. Feel means to get aware of something happening, either by touching it or by feeling it. Recognize means know, to know something that, or remember something that he knew before. Remind, to make someone remember something. Design, to draw or put the main points of a plan or an invention. Include, which means contain. When I say this book includes 80 pages, it contains 80 pages, with a small difference between the words. Starve, about to die because of hungry, because he is hungry. Sail, we used it as a noun here, which meant a big piece of cloth which is used to make the boat move quickly when it is windy. But the verb sail means to move into water, into the sea, using a sailboat. Now the adjectives. The word scientific related to science. The word personal means it concerns someone in special. Nervous means worried or angry. Now let's exercise these words. Number 1, use the to cut the grass. Use the vacuum, use the space, use the or use the lawn to cut the grass. Lawn. Lawn more. This word is wanted here. Use the lawn more to cut the grass. Number 2. Space, go around the sun to get heat and light. Planes, plates, plants, planets. Yes, planets. Robots can space you to send emails, can remember you, remind you, forget you, memorize you? Yes, it's remind you, make you remember. The Egyptians used the Nile to space goods, to give, make, take, transport goods. Yes, transport. Nice. Now let's move to our book. Let's read the text. Robots in our lives. Scientists have used robots for a long time. Sometimes robots dive underwater to study the sea. Others are sent inside volcanoes. Others are sent inside volcanoes to study places that are dangerous. In 2012, a robot went to another planet to study the soil and the gases there. Personal robots are designed to help people with jobs at home. They include robot vacuum cleaners to clean floors and lawnmowers to cut the grass in parks and gardens. Now an engineer has designed a robot. Now an engineer has designed a robot that can space people, that can, yes, recognize people. When you speak, it will answer. It will hear your, it will hear your voice. When you speak, a voice. And turn its head in order to look at you. It will say hello to you when you come home. And it can read a story to children. It can give a message to the right person in the family. It can even space you to send your emails. It can even remind you. Some robots are designed to have friendly faces so that children will think they are toys. These robots are very useful in hospitals where they can entertain children. Entertain children. What is this? It's a very bad pen. So let's use this. Entertain. Yes. Nice. Now let's move to our structure. Our structure today speaks about transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs and intransitive verbs ودي أخدناها في العربي بمعنى الأفعال اللازمة والأفعال المتعدية. But let's make it in English. Transitive verbs are the verbs that must be followed by an object, either direct or indirect. يبقى الأفعال دي لازم يجي بعدها object، لازم يجي بعدها مفعول، يا إما direct يا إما indirect. Let's have an example. Tamer asked what? A question. This is the direct object. Tamer asked me a question. We have here two objects. Asked me, I am here. The word me is indirect object. A question is the direct option, the direct object we mentioned before. Transitive verb, then indirect object and direct object. Ali sent me an email. Me indirect. An email direct. Mom made me a cake. Mom made what? She made a cake. يبقى ده الدايركت. Made it to me, to whom? Made it to me. يبقى me indirect. Transitive verb, direct object, indirect object. يبقى ممكن ابدا بالدايركت اوبجكت او ممكن يبقى الدايركت اوبجكت هو اللي بعد الاندايركت. والاكزامبل اللي فوق عندنا مثالين بيتكلموا عن استخدام الاندايركت اوبجكت الاول، لكن ممكن ابتدي بالدايركت like this example here. Ali sent an email. An email is a direct object. He sent an email to me. Me is indirect. Mom made a cake for me. Mom made a cake for me. But let's notice here something special. What is it? Here we used to. Here we used for. There are a lot of verbs that use to and other verbs that use for. Let's learn them by heart. This group of verbs use the preposition to, like send, bring, offer, sell, tell, show, pay, write, give, pass, deliver, and lend. The other group uses for. Keep, leave, buy, get, build, save, find, call, make, and bake. All these use for. Let's move to intransitive verbs, which are the verbs that mustn't be followed by an object. We don't need objects here. The baby is sleeping. Okay, we have a full meaning here. The meaning is clear. The baby is sleeping. The baby is sleeping. It's very clear. Ahmed runs fast. Where is the object? No object. Where is the object here? No object. We left early in the morning. We left, this is the verb. Where is the object? No object here. All these are complements for the word, for the sentence. Thus, I think it's very obvious, and if you have any questions, send them in your comments. Let's answer some exercises here. Ahmed gave Amal a book. I want to use to. Ahmed gave Amal a book. I want to use preposition to. So, I'll say Ahmed gave a book to Amal. Yes, to Amal. Ali brought a present for his mom. Start with a present. Passive. A present. Ahmed brought a present for his mom. A present was brought by Ahmed for his mom. Okay? A present was brought by Ahmed for his mom. Okay, I bought a toy for Selma. عايزين نقول bought سلمى. يبقى كل اللي هنعمله ان احنا هنلغي حرف الجر for ونبدل ما بين سلمى وتوي. هنقول I bought سلمى a toy. I bought سلمى a toy. Maya gave her sister a pen. I want to use the preposition to her. يبقى Maya gave a pen, yes, to her sister. It's your turn to answer these at home. And if you have any difficulties, just let me know. And let's move now to our book. He asks me here to identify the kind of the verb in these sentences. Exercise number 2. Okay, number 1 is answered. Number 2, the bus has arrived. Is it intransitive or transitive? In other words, does it need does it use an object or not? Arrived, no object, so it is intransitive. I gave my mother the message. Does it use an object? It uses 2 objects, so it is transitive. Please send me an email. Yes, 2 objects, transitive. I went to the shop. The object, no object, it's intransitive. You have to work hard, no object, intransitive. Go to bed early, it's intransitive. I bought some milk. Some milk is the object, يبقى transitive. Next is lesson 4, because lesson 3 has nothing to be said. I have here a text. You are going to read this text and answer these questions as a homework. Okay, but we have a page, the review page, to be answered. It's your student book, page 32. Let's go to exercise number 1. Engineers have invented robots that recognize you. Recognize is used and answered. There are also robot space cleaners to clean the floor. Cleaners to clean the floor. Yes, it's a vacuum. Yeah. And space mowers to cut the grass. Lawn. Excellent. Some robots can even entertain children. Yes. Okay, exercise 2, transitive and intransitive verbs. May I use your pen? Use pen. Transitive. I bought myself a new notebook. Transitive. John sent me object, an email object. Transitive. What time does the train leave? Does it need an object? It doesn't. يبقى intransitive. The birds are singing beautifully. Singing. Yes, it's intransitive. But if he says are singing a song, it will be transitive. Rania swims fast. Swims. How does she swim? Fast. So it's not object. No. It's how she swims. يبقى هنا intransitive. Let's move to exercise number 3, which we will underline the direct and circle the indirect. Manar gave her daughter a sandwich. But all these verbs will use either 2 objects or only 1. The doctor examined the patient. The doctor examined the patient. I want to identify the object, which is the patient. Is it direct or indirect? No, it's direct. Underline. The ancient Egyptians invented the sail. The sail is indirect. Underline. Sorry, direct. Underline. I offered a drink to the guest. I offered a drink. A drink is direct. Underline. And the guest is indirect. Circle. And the last exercise number 4 is a homework for you to answer at home. I was very pleased to be with you. Thank you very much and goodbye.